The Constitutional Amendments 11 through 15. The 11th Amendment stops citizens from suing states in federal court. It was added in 1795 after a Supreme Court case called Chisholm versus Georgia. In that case, a man from South Carolina sued Georgia for unpaid war debts, and the court said, yeah, you can do that. But the states were like, whoa, that's not fair. They worried about being sued all the time, especially by people from other states or even other countries. So the 11th Amendment was passed to protect states from these kinds of lawsuits. The 12th Amendment is all about fixing how we elect the president and vice president. Before it was passed in 1804, the person with the most votes became president and the runner-up became vice president, even if they were from different parties. Then in the election of 1800, Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr tied in the Electoral College. The House of Representatives had to step in and break the tie, which took 36 votes to finally pick Jefferson as president. So after the 12th Amendment was passed, electors vote separately for president and vice president, and if no one gets enough votes, the House of Representatives picks the president and the Senate picks the vice president. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery in the United States. It was proposed in 1864 during the Civil War and ratified in 1865, right after the war ended. This made slavery illegal everywhere in the country, declaring neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States. The 14th Amendment was passed in 1868. Even though the 13th Amendment abolished slavery, many southern states passed what they called black codes, which were laws that restricted the rights of black Americans and kept them in unfair conditions. Congress realized they needed a stronger way to protect equality and citizenship amongst all Americans, so the 14th Amendment does three big things. It guarantees equal protection under the law, meaning everyone, no matter their race, must be treated fairly by the government. It says states can't take away your rights without due process, which basically means they have to follow fair rules before denying you any freedoms. And it ensures citizenship for everyone born or naturalized in the United States, including formerly enslaved people, and today, the emphasis of children of immigrants. You may have heard this called birthright citizenship. This amendment has been the foundation for many civil rights cases over the years. For example, in Brown versus Board of Education in 1954, the Supreme Court used the 14th Amendment to end racial segregation in schools, saying separate but equal wasn't actually equal at all. And now in 2025, it's being upheld again. And lastly, the 15th Amendment was passed in 1870. This gave black men the right to vote. It was proposed in 1869 and ratified in 1870, but many states found ways to block black voters through poll taxes, literacy tests, and other unfair laws. It wasn't until the Voting Rights Act of 1965, 95 years later, that those barriers were finally torn down.